All right, good morning, everyone. It is Sunday morning, and yeah, I've got this going on intentionally. We're going to talk about it. Um, so I apologize if it seems like I'm kind of glossing over some of the game highlights. Unfortunately, we have a much more important issue to talk about again. All right. So yeah, lots of action last night, and first game up. Let's get on the right page. Elmira. Wow. Just totally dominated by the Danbury hat tricks. Hat tricks are. This was the second game in 9 in a row at home. So this is the time where I think you're going to see Danbury make some movement here in the standings. Uh, so the game started off kind of innocently enough. Connor McCollum and Frankie McClendon, the two goaltenders. McClendon getting his first start for Elmira. Not good. So John Scully scores in the first. Then Dustin Gisello counters. The new guy, Newman, he scores on the power play. Gisello scores again. Elmira is up 3-1. Then Danbury. Connor Woolley makes a 3-2 at the end of one. In the second, you have goals by Ruiz, Woolley, Ruiz, and Ruiz. Yep, hat trick for the captain. And wow. Um, and by that time, it was all Danbury. The game was settled. Interesting moment. Late in the second period, David Gaeta scored on a penalty shot. And apparently, the Fed has no marking or designation for a penalty shot goal because it was just not like equal strength or power play. It was just blank. Gaeta. But anyway, Gaia scores, and then it's LaBelle, McKittrick, and Tetro. LaBelle twice, actually, all adding goals. Nice crowd on hand in Danbury, 2,300 plus. See Danbury roll 10-4. Elmira 15-25-0. Danbury now 21-15-4. Lots of extracurriculars in this game, and I have listed some suspensions that were handed out already on Facebook. So you can check it out there. Yeah, we had, let's see, Merkel was ejected. Steve Brown, he was ejected and suspended. Yao suspended for and ejected. Just so ejected and suspension. So yeah, it's just ugly. So yeah, Giselle had a nice game until he kind of went off the rails at the end of the game. Ruiz, the hat trick and an assist. LaBelle, last 2 weeks, he has been en fuego, 2 goals and 2 assists. All right, on to Mississippi, and Mississippi, what a cluster storm that is. We learned about the suspension to Yanni Liriakos. He was out. Sam Turner's out with a season-ending injury. So they were already short 2 players. And then during the game, Tyson Lambert, he gets ejected and suspended, as does Lucas Helland. So not a good time right now for Seawolves fans. Carolina scored the first 6 goals in a row. Shout outs. I'm going to be doing some shout outs to fans. First shout out goes to Randy Pulliam, who successfully told me, yeah, discrepancy in the report. Ford's opening goal was not equal strength, it was a shorthanded goal. And he's right. Pastuca scores, Ford scores, Pastuca scores, Ford scores again, Panachek, Baker, and Schnapp on the power play. It's 6-0. Not a good night for Mississippi. And then, for a while, too, it also listed Philip Wong as receiving a game misconduct, and that didn't happen. Melissa Leary alerted me to that. So then Dalton Anderson scores twice in the third period for Mississippi to at least salvage some dignity. So it's a 6-2 final. Mississippi now 18, 19, and 3. Carolina improving to 28, 9, and 1. Deloisio for the Seawolves goes 31 for 37. Cody Karpinski stops 19 of 21. Ford had 2 goals and assist, and Roman Kramer 3 assists on the night. All right. I'm going to skip this game. We're going to come back to this. Let's talk about Baton Rouge snapping the 11-game losing streak on the road, too. So a 3-2 win over the Blue Ridge Bobcats in Wytheville. Crowd of 1,400 taking it in. Baton Rouge scored the first 3 games in the first 3 goals in the first period. Josiah Rowan, Scott Chirac, Tyler Larwood, and that was all they need. Blue Ridge did score a couple times to claw their way back, but it wasn't enough. Goals by Daniel Martin and Justin Daly couldn't bring them all the way back, and they fall to Baton Rouge 3-2. Baton Rouge improves to 8-24-4. Congratulations to Stephen Bailey on your first Fed win. He stopped 27 of 29. So, Baton Rouge needed a feel-good moment, and this was it. Meanwhile, for Blue Ridge, Martin scores. Zach Tattern had a couple of assists. And Connor Green stopped 19 of 22 and then was taken out like a minute 5 into the third period. I did not hear if he was injured or what the reasoning was. Liskowitz came in, went 4 for 4. So I'm hoping to find out more about what happened, why there was the goal change. Hopefully Connor Green is okay. All right, now we'll go back to this because the last 2 games I'm going to spend some time on. So the win streak is over. Yep, it ends at 17. The Motor City Rockers defeat the Columbus River Dragons 5-3. Yeah, I said that. Okay, so by the way, shout out to Darren Wheeler, who successfully caught my error in which I said the most wins in a row, record for most wins in a row was Port Huron with 21. It is not. He successfully told me and found out it was a Carolina Thunderbirds in the 2018-2019 season with 24 consecutive wins. So good catch, Darren. All right. In this game, Motor City started off up 4-0. It's Scott Koash. It's TJ Delaney. It's TJ Sneath. It's Delaney again on the power play, so it's 4-0. Late in the second, Columbus starts to claw their way back. Cody Wickline scores on the power play, as does Justin McDonald. So it's 4-2 at the end of 2 periods. Third period, Nick Gullo scores. So now it's 5-2, and the game was over. Yeah, at least it should have been. Now Ryan Gill did come back with an extra attacker goal at 14:30, and then a phantom goal was given at 16:25, credited to Pietrangelo that does not exist. It was a play in the offensive zone for Columbus. Ricardo Gonzalez gets pulled out of net, chasing the play. Josh Colton steps in the goal, makes a save with the chest. 45 seconds goes by. Whistle's blown at the conclusion of the play. Referees Steve Gowdy and Jordan Crable get together, have a discussion, and award a goal from that Colton stopped. Phantom goal. So it didn't exist. And you got to wonder, what's going on? Just wait till I talk about the Binghamton game. So anyway, it's 5-4 in the books. It's 5-3 in reality. No excuse for this. And there was a disputed goal on Friday night as well. So I'm not sure why there's suddenly this level of ineptitude with the officials, but there wasn't even an official review. It wasn't like a video review. The whistle was blown. the officials conferred. They talked for a while, and then they said, "Goal." Sorry. In the words of Ben Slaggy, this is what makes the Fed look like Bush League at times. Uh, Officiating this bad. All right. So anyway, thanks to Chris Del Camp for alerting me to this whole situation. I went back and watched it this morning. So anyway, with the game, Motor City wins. They improved to 23-13-4. Columbus 31-4-2. The loss goes to Lavalier, who stopped 26-31. Gonzalez stopped. Yeah, I wrote the correct numbers in there, and yeah, we have a 1-for-1 on the Colton save that he didn't get credit for. So, but he should. All right, finally we go to Binghamton. 6-5 win for the Black Bears. By far the worst officiated game I have seen in over a year. These guys, Andrew Sullivan and Chris Rousseau, were so inept in this entire game. We had blown calls. We had at least a dozen missed penalties. We had at least 4 occasions. Now I'm talking about with both teams. Okay, I'm not saying this team, got more calls, this team didn't. It was both teams. There were 4 times when there was clear embellishment. Sold it. I mean, Oscars should have been handed out last night. All right, it was bad. And then we had a goal that wasn't a goal and a non-goal that was a goal. So the goaltenders start off. It's Spencer Kozlowski for the Wolves and Samuel Vecchi in the net for the Binghamton Black Bears. Early on, it is all Wolves. Even though through the first 2 periods, the shots were 23 apiece, the Wolves dominated this game. First 40 minutes. It was all Wolves. It was Trevor Lord. It was Michael Mercurio twice. You had Josh Chamasi scoring on an absolute blister of a shot. Tate Leeson scores on a deflection. In between all that, Justin Samaro, who just came down from the SP for the Black Bears, he scores. So it's 4-1 at the end of 2. Binghamton's not looking good. And suddenly somebody lit the fire in their pants, and they came out ablazing. 26 shots in the third period. So, yeah, they were playing with urgency now, but the bad calls still continued and didn't help. And here we go again. It's becoming a daily thing. All right, so, yeah, we had... in the meantime, after the 4th goal, Lavechi was taken out. Nolan Egbert was brought in. So all of a sudden, we had goals by Logar. We had Smith scoring. So it's 5-3. At 10-13, clear goal by the Black Bears, by Kirkby. 5 minutes of discussion, the goal's taken away, washed away. That was a good goal. All right. But we go on. So, JT Walter scored 14-42. Game's getting interesting. Meanwhile, both Egbert and Kozlowski had some of the best goaltending I have seen in a long time, and it was stunning. These 2 guys, wow. We were blown away as we watched this game. Best goaltending I've seen in a long time. You wouldn't think so with the score being 6-5, but the goaltending was actually fantastic. Big saves. I mean, we're talking about ESPN Sports Center saves. Fantastic. So 16-21, and you can even hear it on the YouTube replay. Stick save by Kaz, a foot off the line. Puck doesn't go in, but all of a sudden the goal horn goes off. It's a goal. It's a goal. No, it wasn't. Terrible. So it's 5-5. We go to overtime. Nothing happens in the shootout. Round 3, Connor Smith scores, and there you go. Some of the worst officiating I have ever seen. And I feel bad for the Wolves. I honestly do, because they were robbed. There's very few times when I would say, yeah, the officiating cost a team a game. In this case, it really did. Um, Sullivan and Rousseau should be fired. I said it. All right. So Watertown now 12, 23, and 5. Binghamton with a shootout win improves to 27, 5, and 6. And there you go. So, yeah, we've got an officiating problem, a big one. It needs to be fixed. That's all I have to say about that. Tomorrow, hopefully, we can talk about the games, as we have 4 today. All right. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon.